This is the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup for junior men's 8s. We've got Dulwich College on the far station, and nearest us from California, it's Marin Rowing Association out there in the sunshine of California against Dulwich College sitting there in the south of London. Will it be a day for the sun to shine on the American young men?
And I don't know whether it's just flavour of a Tuesday, but every 8 seems to have a bucket in it, Matt.
A bucket, by which you mean we have 2 oars together on one side?
Exactly. We talked about it a little bit in some of the earlier races, but once again we can see that Marin have got the 7 and the 6 person. So that's 1 back from stroke and 2 back from stroke, so towards the back of the boat. They're both on the same side. Just in the bottom right-hand side of your picture, you can see that 2 men there are rowing on the same side towards the back of their boat.
Well, and I wonder, is it because the brothers there sitting in the stroke seat, Travis Jorgensen and his brother at 5, Ryan Jorgensen, is the next oar behind him on this side of the boat. So maybe it's a combination of siblings again. We've got an afternoon of siblings across these races. And well, Marin, I think we might expect them to be pretty fast. You don't make the trek from the west coast of the USA to the Thames Valley when you are not confident that you're fast, and Marin already looking like they're easing back a little bit on the gas. Nice cruising rhythm now from Marin.
Yeah, it looks like a really inviting boat to row in. Really long, really loose, like what they're doing in the water.
So Dulwich College had to throw a lot into it at the start. It looks like they've tired of it, and Marin have got a nice advantage, able to relax. As we join the race live further down the course, we can see the face of Cox Jackson Tupper urging the crew on, and just making sure maybe that they're figuring out where the markers are on the course. This is a young crew. They won't have competed a great deal in this area before. They might have watched some of our videos to enjoy the races and learn a bit about the unique experience that is rowing at Henley Regatta.
And that's the beauty of having YouTube and having all these different ways in which we can digest these races, immortalised there forever. And you can practice on that rowing machine back at home. You can look at these races, you can think about what could I have done differently. Interestingly enough, the Cox Jackson Tupper of the Marin crew also gets on the rowing machine with his crew. So they bond together. The 2K Ergo, which is the fitness test for all of our rowers on the land, he has a time and it's 9:19, he says.
Well, that's probably better than I would do if I was that power to weight ratio. So here we are, a little bit of distress starting to show on the faces of determined Dulwich College. They probably knew they were up against it with this Marin crew, who won the Youth 8s at the San Diego Crew Classic earlier this year. Various other wins under their belts as well. Incredibly strong rowing program at Marin, down there at Corte Madera Creek. Incredibly impressive boathouse and facility they have there, and you can see the gap they've opened up now. So here's the Marin crew. You can hear the voice of Jackson. She's calling them on there. A bow, back Ryan, a 2, sibling Hugh Ryan, then Nicholas Anger, Colton Lander, Ryan Jorgensen, Bailey Foster, Gavin Greenberg and Travis Jorgensen in the stroke scenes. A couple of sets of siblings there, and Marin. If you're joining us from the west coast, good morning to you. You're watching a nice display from your young crew.
And one of the lovely things about being up in the race and being so comfortable is it does give the crew the opportunity to just psychologically prepare, to think about what they would be doing in the heat of battle had they have a real neck-and-neck close race. They can just rehearse those calls, rehearse those strategic pushes, and that will be what that Cox Jackson Tupper is doing now, just going through that race plan, visualizing for future rounds, because it's not just about energy conservation, so saving the beans for later in the regatta, but it's also about psychologically preparing, sharpening the tools, ready for the next and the next and the next round.
Oh, that's so right, absolutely. And really loving watching the way the Marin boat is moving through the water here. You can see the fluidity and the run on the boat. Obviously they're not under pressure at this stage now, but that's nice rowing, and you just want to be feeling that this is the groove we want to be in, so when we are under more pressure, that we're still retaining that relaxation, that flow, that efficiency, that length of stroke, just like you were saying there.
Yeah, and rowing is all about maximising what we do. So when you've done some work, you always want to have the return of speed, and that's where that technique and that efficiency comes in.
Well, Marin go through to the next round of the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup, and Dulwich College, a couple of lengths behind them, have pushed it really hard, but the West Coast crew, really a nice performance for them. They'll be very happy with that, so confirmation of the result.